Are you ready? Are you ready to pot it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun.
Peatcast it. This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
I think it's going to be a four-shoulder touch.
Matt McGill,
Nothing says loving like a muffin.
Josh Griffin,
The internet is a hotbed of activity.
and Jana Sardi.
Podcast.
The show starts now.
That was awesome.
Very nice.
Wow.
That was very good.
Well, hey everybody, Doug Fields here with my
Hey,
friends
everybody.
Matt and
Hey,
Josh
what's up?
and Jana. And when you are listening at home or you've downloaded this off iTunes, this is our second time in 100 episodes that we're in front of a live audience.
Should we prove it? Yeah, say a little something.
We are in Columbus, Ohio at the National Youth Ministry Conference,
Yes, we
which
are.
we found out tonight we are changing the name next year to the Simply Youth Ministry Conference. It's about time. It only took Andy 3 years to figure that one out. And we have a live, how many are we guessing in here, 200?
3 billion
Huh?
with a
Of
B.
course, Josh.
What do you think?
I
How
count
many?
like a pastor.
Can't hear you.
3 billion.
250 or something.
250
100
billion.
got a free T-shirt that said Happy 100th, and then on the back it says a Simply Youth Ministry podcast almost every Thursday around noonish. That's pretty much what our life is like, and we'll give you a little context. How many, was it 2 years ago? Matt and Josh and I went out to lunch.
Yeah.
And did I say like I've heard of this thing called a podcast? How did
You
it
were
go?
like, what is this thing called the internet?
The World Wide Web, email, it's all.
And so I said, you know what, we ought to think through how we could do that. And I said, let's just test one today. And so was it just the three of us, or did we grab Natalie at that
I
time?
think it was just the three of us.
No, we grabbed Natalie.
No, it was
But
just the three of us.
on a napkin,
And it was
we
Peruvian
sketched the
food,
whole
if that
thing out.
matters.
It was
No, it
Peruvian
wasn't
food.
Peruvian. It was.
Well, Indian food?
It doesn't matter.
Delicious is what it was.
And-
Food,
yeah,
of
because I
course,
was
though,
buying.
that's the thing.
You know I was buying. I
Anything's
guarantee
good
you,
when you
Josh
buy.
and I have been out to eat hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and Josh has paid once.
Okay, as I say, make sure you counted for the one there. That's
Right,
very
one?
important to me. Yeah.
Yeah, one.
And it was Wiener Schnitzel too, so I bought your corn dog.
So we're out at this Peruvian restaurant, and we have got a napkin, and we start brainstorming all these bits, like Will It Float, which was a ripoff of Letterman. We said, okay, it would be really funny if we weigh Matt. We weigh Matt,
I'm not sure we all said this was funny.
and however many pounds he is over 300, that's how long the podcast will be. And we actually started our first one doing that. And
First, like 30.
no, I don't think we went
Yeah,
there.
we totally
It was
did.
double digits for
you
sure.
want to
Was it? No, I don't want to bet.
Outback, here we go.
Nope.
Let's do this.
And so we started that bit. We had a thing like stolen from each other's house that when we were at each other's house, we would steal stuff. Jana still is like, at this time, Jana kind of
She's
runs.
mocking it, really.
She runs a lot of
Still today
Saddleback
I'm
Church.
mocking it.
Yeah, she doesn't even get a real microphone.
And Jenna really didn't come along until like episode 50 or something like
Yeah.
that, because we had Natalie, who is the sweetest girl in the world. She was our designer, interior designer at the time. Grew up in a
Interior
pastor's
designer?
family. What did I say?
Interior
Yeah,
Interior
she-
design.
well,
Painted really well.
she-
Wallpaper was incredible.
Fabric
nice pillows
selections
for
were
the couch.
amazing.
All right, everybody done?
Not even close.
And so she was pastor's kid, and we thought she'd add that, and she's very fun. We had the cowbell and things
Yeah.
like that. But after a while, we went, she really doesn't know anything about youth ministry.
It's true.
And our friend Megan Hutchinson, who's over here, who's written a ton of books, and she works with hurting kids and things like that. We thought Megan could be on, but Megan's way too opinionated. And I couldn't.
Wait,
I
so how
never-
do we end up with
have I
Jana
never-
then?
Opinionated to Megan? Awesome.
Have I never told you that?
Like that?
Well, no,
You're
no.
both-
Josh is not opinionated.
I'm like a wafer. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That's- I will fold
No.
under pressure
Have I ever
easy.
said that? I've never said that.
Matt,
I
just
am
because you
so
guys have had
excited
tension
that
in the
you
past,
are
you don't
more
have to be
opinionated
defensive.
than
But
me.
here's the deal. I said she's too strong of a personality with Matt. I just can't live with two, like, definitive, this is the only way it is.
Gianna's opinions are, what are you talking
I
about?
love this moment.
All right. No, you don't get a microphone.
Exactly.
So that's how we brought Jana in, and there it's been. People sending questions, and now this show, our 100th show, is
Wow.
we ask people.
Was that your brief history of the podcast?
I don't know.
We skipped like 50, 80 episodes.
Well, why don't you fill us in?
No, they were all awesome. I loved every one. I've missed 4. We had lunch at 7 of them. We had vitamin water at 32.
That was good.
That's my history. It's a
We've
food.
only spilled once.
You know what?
food
Is Jake
history.
in here? Is Jake Grunbar?
Oh, there
Where's
he is.
Jake? Jake, come on. Just come on. You don't get to sit up here, but just come do a walk by.
Let him sit on the edge.
No. Because when somebody is missing, Jake is our fallback guy, and
Jaker.
Dude. The video.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Here, can you hear me on the mic if I talk like this?
all right, that's enough.
It was supposed to be a walk by.
So, hey Jake, great video tonight, by the way. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Didn't get hit enough today, huh?
Thank you.
That's Jake. Jake would sit in every once in a while. And typically at the end of every show,
Our new youth pastor.
what you see is what you get. There has been no, people say to me all the time, do you guys actually like talk about the show? When we get into that room, we say, somebody will start, hey, today, I was like, shh, no, save it for the podcast. Because we found we were laughing at each other and talking about all this stuff before the show started.
Then we'd start the show,
And then we'd
yeah.
start the show, and we're like, that would have been funny to talk about on the show, so we typically don't talk
So, and
about
in
it.
true form, even
we just
today,
sit there and
we
look
have not met. We don't know what's in the folder of email. We don't know.
All we know is you've got 3 piles.
I've got 3 piles.
When
I've
you
got
described
Which
it
last
to
time
me,
we
you
saw
said
piles
pile
was
1,
last year.
pile 3, and then pile 2. I just thought that was
Yeah.
great form.
Thank you.
So here we go.
Well, I want to let you guys know I owe you a little bit of an apology, and Matt, I'll
Whoa.
explain to you what an apology is a little bit later.
I don't see the need for that.
There's a guy named Jason Steffen, and when I read any of these, if you all are here in the live show, shout out, all right? Unless it's one of those where you say, Doug, do not read my
Do not
name.
read my name. I'm having.
That would be an interesting to know how many times I've violated that one.
Oh, I'd say 4 at least.
No,
Oh,
11.
more than that. But Jason Steffen says,
Whoa, it's addressed to me.
it is,
Matt.
because on show, at Podcast 98, Matt, we got 3 or 4 emails like this. You were taking your phone, and the sun was coming in, and you're just jacking around the whole
was
time
awesome.
in people's eyes, and yeah, it was awesome. And people wrote in and said, Doug, get rid of him. And so on episode 99, anybody listen to episode 99?
I didn't.
So
Not interested.
episode 99, my daughter Tori and I, basically we did kind of an American Idol deal where we interviewed people to see who could replace these guys. And I interviewed the entire Simply Youth Ministry staff. Daphne, our Vietnamese accountant, who was scared to death to talk on there. Chris, we interviewed Chris, and he was terrible. Andy, I told these guys, I said, Andy had the most personality. Where's Riley? Where's Riley?
At the
hot
store
dude?
with Nadine.
So Riley's on, and after Riley leaves, Riley's in the back?
He was
After
eating. He
Riley
was trying to
leaves,
hide.
Tori, my daughter, says he was the boringest, but he was definitely the cutest. So anyway, I owe you guys an apology. I tried to figure out if I could use somebody in Simply Youth Ministry to replace you, and I knew that I could ask Megan, I could ask Kurt Johnson, and they would be way better than you guys, but
And
they
Jake.
have their own podcasts.
Right.
So I figured we'll just.
So our jobs are safe.
You're fine for another.
So we do this again next week?
Yeah.
Around
Yeah.
noon.
That's good.
So anyway, Jason writes, you guys are great. Thanks for helping make Youth Ministry fun. Don't stop the show. Keep it going. So
That's nice.
yeah, so we've thought about a couple new things for the new format. Maybe we could vote on that a little bit later.
that's a great
But we
idea.
thought about taking, instead of going through a bunch, getting 3 questions. This was my idea. Get 3 questions, and it could suck, which is fine. You get 3 questions, and I email it to these guys ahead of time so they actually think about it. So we come to the show a little bit prepared.
We'd all get in on the prep then.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, yeah. But let's ask the live audience.
All right.
What do you think? How many think that's a good idea? Let me see your hands. They would actually prep a little bit ahead of time? Okay, how many
We'd
think
know
it's
what-
not a
Might
good
know what
idea?
we're
Keep it
talking
just
about.
like it is. All right,
What
that sucks.
Do you want to open up to the floor for some of their ideas?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was just being nice.
So we've got, what about Brian Waller? Is Brian Waller here?
Woo!
Brian. All right.
Maybe
This
he's
is
on the live
from
show.
this is from Jason Underwood. Jason, got it right here. It
Right
says
here.
Please do not read my name.
Notice that it's on fax. Okay.
You faxed in a question?
No. Look at Gina. Look at Gina.
Oh.
I'm.
Is this her first mistake?
Oh yeah. It was.
The
Oh my
golden
goodness.
child is
This-
tarnished.
This is
Wait, the-
perfect.
You guys don't know the story, right?
No.
Here's
What I know. She has never made a mistake in your eyes.
Janet does a lot of things right. Yeah. comparison to
scale-
in comparison to you guys, she's
Yeah.
like
You
she's-
guys, you were talking to him.
Oh gosh.
So I'm trying to get out of here to catch the plane to come to Columbus, and I
Wait,
said,
let's back up to the whole thing of somebody's printing the emails because for some reason that you still can't print the emails.
that's Andy's fault. That is Andy's fault. So I'm trying to jump on a plane to go to Columbus. I'm going to read the emails on the way, and so I say to Janet, would you mind? She actually says, is there anything I can do to help you get out of here? I said, would you mind printing out the podcast emails? I'd like to read them on the plane. And so she brings them over to my house the night before and drops them off. And so that day, I'm kind of looking through them, and I go, they started a certain date, and they ended like a week ago. And I go, I know. I Twittered about people sending in emails, and I knew there was more than that. And I went online to see, and there's all these unread emails. And so I called her
So
and I
you
said,
can go online to print them.
yeah, I can now. Yeah, I can
Well,
now.
to see them,
Yeah.
printing them is that other little printer. That's tough.
You gotta open it up and then
Yes,
push
you're right.
print.
You were
know.
fired from the job. Anyway,
Wait.
Was it-
So Jana doesn't bring all the emails over,
Oh,
and so I said, Jana,
big mistake.
so she runs to the church office, prints them out. I drive to the church. I shoot a little video that they are showing tomorrow at church. I then forget to go by Jana's office to pick them up. I get to the airport. I remember that I didn't get it, so she faxed them here.
So I'm like,
There's
how do I get them
60
emails?
pages.
I have to
So-
fax. I have to find a fax machine. That
Yeah,
was the funny
It
thing.
was $1.50 a page too, so
Oh,
we're
gosh.
reading these even if they're bad. Jason Underwood says, first of all, congratulations. Thank you, Jason, for 100 episodes. Looking forward to working the room again in Columbus. I would like to take this opportunity to formally submit my name for consideration as a new format podcast guest host. Because you guys haven't listened to 99 yet, right?
No.
We Skyped in 3 or 4 youth pastors,
Oh,
and they were all pretty good. Pretty
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Jason,
My
were you
World
one
of
them?
Warcraft buddy was one of them.
Who was your
not,
World of
okay.
Warcraft buddy?
Mark Eads.
Mark Eads. Yeah, I
Who
have an
is
email.
not here either.
Mark Eads on the live show.
Hi, Mark, on the live show.
Tell him Love Handle says hello.
When I interviewed people, I asked them some questions, and Jason answered some of the questions, and he says, so, here in no particular order, here's a response. Yes, I'm aware you have a podcast. I said, what could you offer? And he says, I have 10 years practical experience. I've been in both a volunteer and a point person. More importantly, I could contribute the southern element that the show so desperately lacks.
We've got plenty of Southern California.
We've all seen how successful the Blue Collar Comedy Tour has been. You need some of that, and I'm it. I've been speaking English my entire life, which actually is more than I can say for the guys on my left and right. And my interest in being a host is 10. You don't have to worry about your daughter thinking I'm cute. I'm not. I've read several of your books. In fact, you've autographed some for me. My favorite is McGill, 2 words,
wow.
sprinter's disease. I don't fully get that.
Sprinters. Oh, I made some joke about me not. I try and push those so far out of my mind because there are so many inappropriate things that I say.
But Doug followed that up with a good one about trying to time the lesson on Peter denying Jesus. That was equal.
That's right. That's
I
right.
didn't think that was inappropriate.
Yes.
We do
You
have one
wouldn't.
from Mark Eads. Mark says, just want to follow up and say thanks for letting me interview to be a guest host on the podcast. It showed how hard it really is to do a podcast and how good you guys are at it. Also, send my thanks to Andy for bringing up my blog on the show, to Doug for asking me to say the URL of my blog, and Matt for playing World of Warcraft with me. Wish I was in Ohio with you guys, but have a great time. Keep making a difference in youth ministers' lives. Thank you, Mark Eads. Now we're going to get to the 100 things people learned. All right, you awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they awake?
You
Well,
just bored?
you're just moving so quick. You're not really
okay.
giving us time to get edgewise.
Get edgewise?
Get in there edgewise.
I'd also like some edges.
Yeah.
I gotta condense my words.
Every time you turn your head like that, it takes your mic voice. So if you
Well, that we can't have that. You were saying?
This is from Rachel Dodd. She's in England. She really doesn't ask a question. I just thought we'd start off with a little international flavor.
International
Go
flavor. I
ahead,
like it.
Use your voice.
G'day, mate. Lee, how did I do? Mr. Sardi, was that thumbs up he gave me? All right.
They're a
I didn't see
protectorate.
it.
All right, this is from Phil
Crikey.
Bell. Phil, you here? All right, Phil Bell, what I've learned from the podcast. Number one, for those of you that don't know, we asked for our 100th show. We want to try to collect 100 things that people either learned or they like about the show. Okay,
How many-
learned or like about the show.
How many did we get?
We didn't get 100. Wow. Number one, I'm not alone in ministry. That's what people learn. And actually, when we are done, you guys, when the show's off, sometimes the live computer show stays on and they hear us talk about this. We say, you guys, it's so fun to be together. That was fun. We do this even if people didn't listen because we like being together. And we always say, why do people listen to this? And that seems to be the number one answer, that sometimes people aren't part of a multiple staff and they get to sit in their office and they feel like they're at a staff meeting where they don't contribute. So it's much like Matt. Number two, he says, I've also learned that I need to invest in other youth workers. Okay. Now, Phil's here because it says, thanks for all you do. See you at the National Youth Ministry Conference. Where is Phil?
Phil Bell.
He just had something, but maybe he wanted to go talk to Kay in the other room.
Yep.
don't blame
See
him.
Cabin's call.
I wouldn't blame him either.
Yeah. All right. Well, Phil, kind of disappointing you're not here.
Thanks for nothing.
Chuck Aiden. Chuck says, I look forward to the podcast each week because it's a chance for me to sit back and be entertained by the clever banter with each other. I can also relate to someone's questions or have my own questions answered by some of the most innovative minds in youth ministry.
Oh, goodness.
He said mine, so he thinks at least two of us.
I'm just
Have
going
innovative.
silent. I was just going to try to give you an edge to see what you'd do.
I
with that.
needed some wise,
You what?
edgewise.
We're still, wow.
A little
He
slow
says,
tonight.
oh, he's a sharp guy. I wish I could be there in Columbus, but my wife and I will be joining you at the PDYM conference at Saddleback March 24th through the 27th. Very good decision.
Right there.
Is this PDYM all PDYM like affinity group, or well, I know we have PDYM mentors there.
Whoa.
Jason,
Well,
what do
welcome to
you
the
Popping up,
program,
getting the
guys.
microphone.
do? No, I thank you,
that.
and I thank you for your southern accent and your southern hospitality.
I think
And
you lost your
just
mic.
lost your mic.
I don't know. Did I?
Don't turn your head.
Hey,
Where's our sound guy?
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the sound guy. Maybe it's the Lord.
we can't hear each other.
No, I just lost my mic.
Do you want
Go ahead,
mine?
Josh, take it.
All right.
Here we go.
I think you might have
We can't hear Josh's either.
Yeah, I'm out too. Gianna, you're up. Test. I'm out.
Hear mine.
I don't know. It's back on?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Andy's fault.
Way to go, Andy.
Maybe we should just all have handhelds.
All right, here's another Rob Cunningham. Where's Rob? I've
Rob,
seen
are you
Rob
here?
Right back there. Give it up for Rob.
Booyah!
Things I've learned on the podcast: the more emails you send, the better chance you have getting your name on the podcast.
Very
Jason, I think
wise.
you need to run the mic back to him. Second, he says you can tell when people are really friends and not just putting on a show. I'm assuming that we're really
That
friends.
means we're good friends.
Friends, you know.
A lot of youth pastors wish they work alongside people like Doug, Josh, Matt, and Jana, and Natalie too.
Until
but
they do it.
but far too many don't have that privilege. And then he says he's also learned that Doug doesn't appreciate my top 10 list. Can you help us out with that?
Yeah, I've sent in a few before. I think one time you read like one of them that was all that warranted to be read on the air. So they really weren't good.
Well, let me help some of you guys here a little bit, because I get criticized a lot. People send it in a second and a third time, and you lost the question. And usually when I don't read it, either one, I lost the question, or two, it wasn't good. Or
yeah,
it
I'm
was way
sure.
too
I'm sure
long.
you've done that a few times
It was
on
way
mine.
too long. But top 10 lists, it's difficult.
Adam is telling me to do this.
It's difficult to be funny. I just like when you touch me like that. It's difficult to be funny on a top 10 list, so that's a difficult one.
Are you saying it's difficult for Rob to be funny?
So yeah, he's
difficult
not funny.
for most people to be funny.
Okay.
Rob's funny. Rob's a good guy.
Okay.
Just not funny enough.
It's difficult, Jana.
Funnier than you, Jana. That's Hey,
Can you hear me?
here's what we're gonna do. I just want to. I need. Raise your hand if you are 23 years or younger. 23 years or younger. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of you are 23 younger and you're single and not in a relationship? 23, single. Okay, wait. Let me narrow it down again. 23, single and male. 23 single and male. 1, 2. Could both of you guys stand up just for a second? Why don't you come forward a little bit? Okay, 23 single and male. Because here's the deal.
They are looking very sheepish.
Well, my daughter.
I knew.
Tori, come here for a second. Just come here.
Oh, wow.
Just, babe, come here for real quick. You guys,
Oh, no.
come here real quick. Come on, we got a live show. Okay.
Alice said she was interested too.
I think
Okay, see the two guys right here? Because here's the deal. Tori's in a bet with her roommates, and the last one to get a date, if they don't get a date by, what's the date, babe?
I'm not.
What's the date? March something.
You weren't supposed to say that.
March something. Okay, because here, actually, we were talking about this date bit, and here's what Tori texted me. Tori texted me while I was out there a little bit early. He says, Dad, all these guys are old and overweight. Pull the plug on the date thing. So, but these guys are not old nor overweight.
both cute.
And so here's the deal, you guys. Is
Double date.
she's gonna have a date.
eye contact.
She's gonna have a date. And if she doesn't get a date, here's what happens. Her roommates get to set her up on with any guy at the whole college campus. So I said to her, why don't we just get you a date? You could do a lunch tomorrow. You could do it right out here in the opening. We could have bands come by. We could have people give gifts. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Love it.
All right. Oh, man.
Oh, he's making his move. Here he goes. You're number two. You're number 2 now.
Wait. Where's Jason? I need Jason and David. Jason and David. All right. Okay, wait, here.
Wait a minute.
Now,
I have a mic. Hello.
all right.
This is
Now
on.
let's.
Here's the deal. I think they need to somehow prove that they're not moronic.
Wait. Hang on.
Hands off. Hello.
Okay. Wait.
Okay,
Here's the
all
deal. Tell me your name.
Michael Wiltshire. Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you?
I will be 18 next month.
All right. What about you?
Just fine. I vote Michael.
Mike too.
Mike too.
Oh,
How
Oh.
old are
number
you?
2.
21.
21. Okay.
20,
You gotta
okay.
sit. You gotta sit down. 18's too.
All right.
Sorry. No.
Oh, man.
I play guitar.
What?
I do too.
Wait. Hey. You're not even 18. You're like that could be illegal.
Right.
All right.
No. Whoa.
I didn't mean it
Okay.
like that. I didn't mean it like that, babe. You don't even know what I meant, do you? No.
To go on a date.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna. Go.
Do you wanna try to fight for it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me ask you both a question. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but would you be interested in dating my daughter for lunch tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, I would.
All right. Would you be interested, or is this?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, he would. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so, Michael, here's what I want you to do. Michael, I want you to ask me, I'm her father, if you have permission to take her out on a date. Just ask.
And then you have to ask me.
Right.
I'd like to weigh in on it as well.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Have a seat.
sir, Mr. Fields.
No.
I know I've never actually.
All right, go ahead. Strike 2, what?
I've met your daughter now for about a full minute or two.
Okay.
And I can just I can tell she has a great heart for people and for God, and I would just love to get to know her better because I don't find many people like her, you know.
Okay.
One of a kind.
So
All right,
I'm
then.
just asking for your permission if I can have an opportunity to tomorrow over lunch, if it's
All
okay
right,
with
why-
you
well-
and her as well.
Let me think about it. Okay. It's Michael, right?
Yes, sir.
Michael, almost
Michael number
18.
1, all
Mike,
right.
who's 21.
Yeah. Well,
No pressure, man.
Yeah. How would you? What do you think?
Mr. Fields.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like
said
that
it.
a lot. Welcome to the family, son. Here we go. Let's do this. Tori, give him a kiss. Let's go.
Oh, gosh. Heir to
Hey,
the Youth
Harris
Ministry
brothers are
Empire.
here. Okay, kiss dating goodbye.
All right.
All right.
Here we
I
go.
have a
Oh,
stuttering
that was
problem.
that was
That
her
was-
older brother.
that was-
last night. Yeah.
Was
Here we go.
10 years
Mr.
ago.
Fields, comma.
If your daughter is anything like you, I would really like to take her out for lunch tomorrow and maybe
Oh.
get to know
All right.
Good.
Hey, Jason, if you could escort Michael off stage, that'd be great. All right. No.
shouldn't be
You're
up to-
3 strikes. 3 strikes.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
take him
I
down.
liked him.
Take him down.
I like you. Sorry.
All right,
I like you. Good job. I voted for you, man.
All right, Mike.
for you.
Mike, why don't you go ahead and just ask Tori for the lunch date tomorrow?
Do
Sorry.
you like Chipotle?
Oh my goodness! I will go. I will join you.
Now that is this could be the Lord's will, because favorite restaurant, right? One of them.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
One of them. Are you funny?
Yeah.
Is he?
No, nobody who's funny says they're funny.
Only
Well,
2 people here that know me.
You
yeah.
ever heard Todd Cooper or Jake say they're funny?
If I asked them and I put them on the spot, do you have a good sense of humor? They'd go, yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Okay.
If you know what's right,
Okay.
you're gonna go sit down.
No. Here's the deal.
I'm just saying.
Tomorrow, let's talk
crowd.
afterwards. Tomorrow, I think lunchtime.
Who's nicer? Right?
I don't know Matt McGill.
Well,
well,
you don't
yeah.
want to know.
Do you know
about
Doug?
Gil.
All right. So here's the deal. Done deal. Tori, you asked her out. That was an official ask out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was official ask out. But here's the deal. I'd like you to bring Chipotle here, though.
This room?
Well, how about in the middle of? We'll set it up in the bookstore tomorrow at 12. Okay. How about this? Who's got a schedule? 12:15.
Magical. 12:15.
12:15.
Done.
Tori, 12:15.
Brazel will clear off a product table.
Not a chance. Words that have never been spoken.
Okay, we'll have a table ready. Andy, 12:15 tomorrow. Mike, is it Mike or Michael? Mike, where would you'd you like to meet her where? At the information table?
Yeah,
That's
that's
perfect. That is perfect. Okay, tomorrow, 12:15 at the information table.
we got
If
a
you want to talk to
bowl.
her afterwards, that's great. All right?
yeah.
Let's give him a big hand.
All right.
Nicely done. Come on.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, hug at
Oh,
least.
that's
Hug.
right. Come on,
hug
little
at
hug.
least. Come on.
Come on, little kiss on the cheek. Come on. Thank you.
Hey,
Get
just
all
don't
tingly.
even show up to lunch tomorrow.
Oh, Matt.
Don't
Just
stand him
saying.
up.
You're
Matt's kind of got
fine.
the serious look on his face.
I'm very serious.
He's protective of Tori, and that's fair.
That's right.
All right, here's the deal. She's only had one boyfriend, so be very nice. All right. He played the drums at our first convention. All right.
And his name? Might as well just say it at this point.
All right.
Those are tears of joy, I'm sure.
This is from Marky. I'm so glad your mom's with Kay Warren right now. Because she would nail me for that. I got hot all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're bright red.
All right, Mark Eads. Is Mark Eads here?
Mark
It's a great
Eads.
show. He's just talking about how good Matt is at World of Warcraft. Hey, guys, why don't you go to somebody that might have a question for us, and I'm going to keep reading the 100 things.
Excellent.
This is from Mark Cox. He says, one of the things that I've learned from watching the show is what to take serious and what not. And then it's like ramble.
You did take it
Then
very
he says,
seriously.
but what the podcast crew continually reminds me of is that at the core of everything, there's a simple truth. And when we boil that down, that simple truth, most of the times our decisions are much easier to make, and the wise choice is also much easier to zone in on. Simply put, when a question is asked, Doug usually replies, I think the key question here is, and that helps me to get out to the root of what God wants out of leaders in biblical community.
That's good.
All right.
a
Then
very
he
good
also,
one.
here's an interesting one. He says, I love about the podcast, it's taken what modern times can offer, social networking, and create community, especially with people that us small timers look up to. My youth pastor would have killed for the opportunity to listen to some veteran youth workers each week for free. In his day, it all cost money for the CD or tape subscription. So Janet, this is significant. Why don't you tell everybody why you don't think this? Why you
Yeah,
think
I'd like to hear that too.
It's gotten a
what's
little
your
bit better,
opinion of the
but in the
podcast?
beginning it was just
Because you weren't on it.
no. No. I had to listen to these guys all the time, and I didn't want to hear them again
Oh,
for
that's your
another
first
hour.
problem.
It's gotten better.
Okay. Well, I think it's gotten better because your wisdom. A lot of people write in and say, Jana, she's got a lot to say.
They do?
I'm sure they do. They just,
Some of
Jana
do
doesn't
need to
print
write
those out to me. All right. Do we have a question?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Hello. Kay talked a little bit about tonight. Can you hear me okay? That a lot of the passivity, the reason why we don't go out and make a difference is because we're just scared. We have a lot of fear. So I don't really have a youth ministry question per se, but I just wanted to know, how do you push back against fear in your lives?
Really quick, can you say your name and your church too, so everybody can hear you?
DavidMichaelMoore.com at
Congratulations, sir. Here's a morethandodgeball.com shirt. You deserve that one. That was impressive. That was morethandodgeball.com.
Walnut Grove Christian Church, Arcola, Illinois.
All right, how do you push past fear?
You looking at me? How do I push back fear? Well,
You just lost your mic.
I'm afraid of losing my mic, I think.
All right. Well, I'm letting you guys talk.
You're there.
You are?
Go ahead.
You're
yeah.
there.
Am I there?
Call that a show killer question.
Yeah, man. Start off
a lot,
with a serious one. I don't know. For me, I go inward and reflect a lot, and so if I'm afraid for something, I like to really nail down what it is I am afraid of. And when I take the time to do that, the fear, which is kind of this nebulous feeling on the inside, I do have a feeling deep in here. In the inside, when I can put it on a piece of paper, then it's now specific and it's something that I can handle. And then I evaluate whether or not it's a legitimate fear or not, whether it's just something that's coming from, a pride or, which is a big source of fear because it's a big source of pride, or if it's just something that is a legitimate fear, then I try and say, okay, well, what's the answer to this? What's the solution to overcoming what this is? It's kind of hard. I'm trying to think of a specific situation right now. And it's just one's not coming to hand.
Why don't you think about it while Jana gives a good answer?
I would say really honestly in our environment, one of the things that I think has helped me especially come past some of my fears is really processing some of that with friends. And I even look out in the room right now and see some people that have been in my life in those moments of, I'm scared to do this, or I don't have experience doing this, or this is a challenge for me in ministry, or just that fear of being paralyzed even of, what is God, where is he taking me? And I need somebody to process with. And so I think that for sure we do that in community, and different people for different agendas, honestly, for what is happening in my life, who would I go to? So, but that would be what I would say is really, I think we try to get past our fears and to push each other to get past our fears. So I think we try not to be paralyzed there and to really work through that, even if it's a struggle, even if it is a struggle and it takes a while.
Well, and we're also, because of the community where we live, I don't mean the community we live in Southern California, I mean this community, we do life with each other so we can sense when other people feel afraid too. And as you were, before you answered, I was thinking the same thing. There have been many times with all three of you guys where I've said, I feel really weird about this. Help me unpack this. That's one of my lines a lot is, help me think through this because I can't see the forest from the trees and I'm not sure why I feel this way. And is my motive impure? Do you see something in me that I don't see in myself? And I know I've asked in different forms each of these guys that. So that's one of the ways that I would deal with it.
Yeah.
That's good.
You want to add to
Yeah,
that?
well, I was afraid, just as I had a chance to stop and think, I was captured by fear last weekend. I got to speak for Fields at these new Sunday night services that he started, and we had 3 of them, and 3 services in a row, and after the first service, it was horrible. It was just a rough speaking for me, and when I was done, I wanted to die, and Megan was there and was so very, very encouraging. But for me, I actually, as I was sitting there reflecting, outside the building, wanting to go home and thinking of ways I could try and get home, that it just occurred to me, I actually had sin. I was having the wrong attitude as I was speaking, and it was just one of those things that's like, oh man, God, I need to give this over to you. What I was concerned more with doing a good doing a good message and being perceived as a person, hey man, he can really teach. Because in my current ministry, I don't teach like I used to do when I did high school ministry. So it's been like two years since I've taught on a regular basis. And so I've kind of had this joke that the people I work with now, they think my best contribution is a spreadsheet, which is, sort of true, but also kind of sad. And so that was kind of my fear in my first message was, am I going to do a good enough job so these guys think that? And so for me, I had a legitimate fear, but it was based on a bad attitude, and I totally had to just confess it. And then, for me, right there in that moment, it went really good the next two services. So.
A little long.
It was a little long.
His answer or the service?
Yeah.
Well, the
both.
answer. No,
Either
the
way,
answer
really.
wasn't too long.
No.
But I did. When we talked on the phone, I said I'm praying for you. And what did I say?
Keep it to 45 minutes?
Oh, come on, say that again.
No, you said 30,
And
I thought I was at 25.
Yeah, before the service starts, he's like, I'm only going to be 25 minutes, Jan, 25 minutes. I said, you'll be 40. First service, 43 minutes.
I know, but yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You know what? When
The
you're the
second two
future of the
services,
church,
it
when
was
you're the
so
future of the
good.
church and the king of all wisdom, you pretty much run by your own rules. Do we have another question that we go to, or do I go to Jason? Yeah.
Got it. Hey, happy 100th, gang. Just wanted to ask you guys, what's the funniest moment you can remember in your 100 episodes, or funniest bit that keeps on coming up?
What's your name and what's your church?
Jason Carson, Mission Hills Community Church.
Excellent, thank you.
That was good.
Anybody ever have any Supertones CDs? Anybody have any Supertones CDs?
Oh yeah.
The original drummer of Supertones, right there. And trumpet player.
Stand
really?
up right now.
no
We have the
kidding.
super
I
reunion.
Didn't know that. Wow, this is a little
Reunion right
reunion
here.
tour.
Wow.
Very cool. Are you a youth pastor somewhere? Where? Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that.
Scott's making a comeback.
Which one?
Do it.
Pacific Coast Church?
The doctor I just went to goes there. Dr.
Mental doctor?
Yee. Yeah, he was really cool. Yin or Yinjin or something like that.
No.
The funniest episode. Funniest thing that's happened.
Funny moment, funny bit. Oh,
I
that's
really
hard.
like the bit we just did with Tori and that guy. That's easily one of my
Well,
favorites.
you know what? We had kind of there's a guy named Ross Schaefer that goes to our church, and Ross used to have a late night show on Channel 11. He was actually replaced Joan Rivers before Arsenio Hall. And Ross Schaefer became...
Does anybody even know who
Wow,
that
you
is?
just like spoken code right there.
Yeah, there's one person. That's awesome.
What, that knows Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
How many
and
of you
late
know
night-
Arsenio? Look at, yeah!
They all speak your language. That's good.
That was my
Joan
favorite
Rivers.
part, right? Nobody knows. Anyway, Ross Schaefer's a very funny guy. His show only lasted for about a year, and we thought we would have a comedy coach. And so, anybody remember this episode? Okay, so we Skyped him in, and it just wasn't good.
Well, initially we actually called him in because Skype wasn't even around when the show started.
Oh, okay. We
called
called
him in.
on
And it was
speakerphone, and it
terrible.
was just it didn't go over very well. But you know what, Jason? There probably of 100 episodes, there probably hasn't been one episode.
I know
maybe
my
there's-
favorite.
maybe
The
there's
time I got locked
Wait,
out.
I'm sorry. I was
and I
was going through something right
Oh,
there. But,
sorry.
There probably for me there probably
I had to
hasn't been
pause.
one episode where I haven't laughed like genuinely hearty laugh at something that took place. I mean, for me, every week there is some favorite. There is some. Josh always catches me off guard. Like I always kind of expect Matt to be,
Smart
funny.
alecky.
Yeah, smart alecky, punky. And Josh is very quick-witted, but sometimes Josh says stuff that it snaps my head back. I mean, like, a lot of people will say, oh, Matt's so funny, Matt's so funny. Josh gets me for some reason. He gets me different, and it's funny. Jan is rarely funny.
Yeah. Do you
But,
guys remember? Do you guys remember the
You've
show?
had a few lately. You've had a few.
Yeah.
She had one
Had a few to
tonight.
drink.
Okay, go ahead now that interrupted.
Your
you.
funny
That's
moment.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
what was
Janet was. I'm not
I
gonna
don't
All
do
right,
it.
here we go.
Golden child.
I remember show. It was a long time ago. Natalie was still in the show, and she reached for something, and do you remember? And the camera, and she was in a very awkward position, and she had no idea And it was one of my.
Was it butt cam?
It was butt cam for about 10 seconds. It was Natalie. Yeah, it was,
Yeah, she was reaching for the phone or something like that.
It was fantastic. It's falling again. 5 minutes? It was like that. Apparently you studied it. Good for you. All right. Sorry, your wife.
Come on,
I didn't
Adam.
see that.
Help me out. This is Adam from the Hyatt, everybody.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam, while you're up here, what do you think of Tori? She's cute, huh? Oh.
Wow, you're employed. You know what? Another favorite moment was when we were teasing you about your prayer on the way
Prayer
you pray with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Appraisal
just
like
prayed that
that.
way recently, actually, too.
Yeah. What'd you pray about? What'd you lay on?
I don't, we
Whether or
don't
not
tell
to
people.
stay on the
when I
podcast.
go to that posture, no, it's something that we don't usually share in our. It's a family thing.
Yeah, that was actually maybe the one. We didn't really edit, but we had one time, early show, we kind of crossed the personal line.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was
that was
something.
my
It was
favorite.
something with Josh about you and Angela.
Yeah.
Was it the prayer thing?
I don't know. It was something
I
about
don't-
kids. I think.
It was something. We did something, and you could tell. Josh is really transparent with his emotions. Like when he's bummed or mad or sad, you see it pretty easy. And I could see in the podcast that either me or Matt, who was it?
Matt. Totally.
Matt crossed the line.
Whoa.
And
No.
And we had to
That is not even close to
talk
the
about it
truth.
right afterwards and say, and you were like, yeah, that we probably shouldn't
How about
talk
the
about.
time you edited me on the podcast?
Oh, that's happened twice.
We have edited Matt twice. That's true.
But not in the last year.
Yeah.
Because we talked about those edits last
So
year.
since
we haven't-
Jana got on the show,
yeah.
we haven't had to edit the show.
Fair question, Jason. Thank you.
Good.
Did you have a favorite?
Well, I was gonna say the time I got locked out and I tried to dig
Trying
under
to dig
the,
a hole
that
under
wasn't
the
really
window.
on the show, but it was right before the show.
Yeah, we locked him out because he was late.
No, I got locked out of the room and I tried to dig a hole underneath the glass because I thought that I could like lift the glass up or something. I don't know. Yeah, we had to call a locksmith. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
All right, good
times.
question. Where else are our guys? Yeah.
My name's Joe. Thank you. I'm from here. I go to the Vineyard. My question is, we have nothing for college-age students, and a lot of the all-stars, I allow them to stay and help with certain things. As being in charge of junior high and senior high and not having anywhere to go, what can I do to kind of help out that situation?
Help out those college-age students?
Yeah, instead of just saying, oh, okay, you're on your own. You know, as far as ministry is concerned at church.
Yeah, well, and you probably don't have margin in your life to start another college ministry, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well,
That was the beautiful thing. His wife just saying, "No, I'll answer for him. I got
Yeah,
this."
well, I got 3 kids and I work a full-time job
yeah,
as well.
no, and I'm not suggesting.
So,
that's why I
no.
said you probably don't have margin. You checking your emails?
You don't need to be concerned with that. He's looking for an answer to his question.
Google it.
Cha-cha. I would say, one, ministry-wise is, let your college-age students, if they're Christ followers, to work with junior high so you keep them involved in the ministry and kind of you're shepherding them, but, get them out of the high school ministry and into junior high. And I'd also say that, college-age students can run their own Bible study, encourage them to do something on maybe that night of the week that was youth group, have their own college Bible study. I mean, there's a lot of people who lead college Bible studies that are in college, and it's, they may not have you, and it may not feel like youth group, but they can sure do that and keep growing spiritually.
I think you have a great opportunity to empower volunteers too. If there's a partner with you in ministry who maybe isn't paid by the church or isn't on staff, but just a great volunteer who could give those couple hours that it would take, it would be a great way to minister to them.
Are we losing sound again?
It's just when it falls a little sideways.
All right. This is from Carr Clint. He says, give me a shout out on Twitter. This is 100 things he likes. He says, one of the best things I like about y'all is you give free stuff to poor people like me. And we've actually got some people here that are here for free. We've given out just about any time people have a need, we try to give that out. You want to give something out?
I just thought it felt right.
Okay.
It just felt good.
That does feel good.
Oh, here we go. No.
This is from Tim Ham. He says, I've learned that you can actually still get something out of a podcast that has had consistently bad sound for 100 episodes.
Oh, Andy's
Insert
fault.
Matt's contention about sound.
When Matt sounds like he actually has something good to say, he speaks so softly, I have to turn my volume way up. Not 2 seconds later, someone makes a wisecrack and everyone starts shrieking and blows out my eardrums. I then debate turning this noise, then this now gives me a headache, and I actually get to do something practical out of it. Here's a new line, just enough youth ministry to give you head trauma. It's from Tim Ham. Chris, I think the sound has gotten better, although I don't listen to it, but don't you think it has? Huh? Yeah, when Matt gets serious, he talks.
He gets tender.
Yeah. Did we say Mike Hammer was here? I can't remember. Where is Hammer?
Hammer time.
Where? Mike Hammer. Hammer, we get questions from Mike Hammer. He says, podcast friends, I think what I really like about the podcast is that for people who live in not so populated areas, it gives us a group of people to connect with in youth ministry. We get some new and different ideas that are transferable, as well as some conversation that we feel like we're a part of, especially with the live show.
That's awesome. You see where he's from?
He's from, Punxsutawney. How do you say that? Yeah.
That's what that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Groundhog
Okay,
Day?
Jason, if you can spell it, free T-shirt.
Yeah. And Outback. I'll take it Outback.
Huh? Yeah, Punxsutawney. Yeah, go. Uh-huh. No, not even close. No.
No, the X was close.
This is what you win right here.
That's why he's not in the Supertones anymore. He got kicked out for anger problems. This is from Jennings Berry. One thing I've learned by listening is how to dispose of an unwanted cat and disciple a youth at the same time. Thanks, Doug and the gang for all your wisdom. Yeah, the cat did come back. All right, a question out there?
Yes,
Where's
here we
Jason
go.
or David?
Here we go, right here.
Hi, I'm Blair Benefield from First Baptist Marshalltown, Iowa. And first of all, I have to say hi to my youth assistant who's listening online right now, and she just asked me, any single youth workers, men out here, if you are single, she's 28, she's an awesome youth worker, and she's looking. So come and see me, and I'll get you her information. And if you watch on the screen right about now, I'm
Hey,
going to
you know what? Maybe
Blair.
Michael, or did Michael split?
Yeah.
17,
Yeah, he
almost
left.
18.
He
is-
left crying a little while
Yeah.
ago.
You
Very
know what?
sad.
He's not 18.
Broke his
Yeah,
heart.
sorry.
Past his bedtime.
Past-
There you go.
Oh.
Nice. Wow.
I like that. That was impressive.
So I just wanted to comment. I just learned something on the day of the 100th episode. Actually, a few years ago, I got to come in. Josh was nice enough to invite me to sit in on a podcast. And so that was really cool. And then last year I was supposed to come. And there's the glasses.
All right,
so I
I
sat
remember
over in
you.
the corner. Yeah,
Yep,
there we go.
yep, I do
And so last year I was supposed to come to Cincinnati the weekend before. I'm like, just get through my ski trip and I can head out to Cincinnati. My wife actually got run over by one of our youth on skis, tore her ACL and meniscus. I wasn't able to come.
Remember that
So
story?
I email in to the guys, say, hey, I'm not going to be able to come. Sorry, I'm going to miss you guys. And so I'm watching online, and the very first thing opens up with my email to say, hey, Blair's not going to be able to come with us. And everybody, it's kind of, And Matt goes, it's not like she's dead. Let's get on with the show. And I'm sitting in my office at home, crushed. So, but I talked to him today, and
We hugged.
We did hug. We hugged it out. He is. I learned that he is a softie on the inside. He plays a character on the
Softie on the
podcast.
outside.
Character on the podcast.
But
Wow.
he is.
Wow. Are you
So-
fake? Are
He
you
said
two
play.
sided?
I know.
Oh,
I know.
double
So,
personality.
I hope that in the next 100 episodes that I learn even more about you guys, and we thank you for everything that you do.
That's a good one.
Thank
That's
you,
a good
Blair.
one,
I
yes.
feel like we should clap after that. I don't know why. I just feel like that was like a little sermon. Do we have a song to sing now, or?
Well, I just like that he called Matt fake.
Oh, I'm just seething inside.
However you made up, that now it's
Yeah,
off.
it's on
No,
now.
I'm not. It's not him.
Mortal
it's
enemies.
Where you put
Hey,
the words in the
where's
mouth.
David? David Morris, did we lose you over there?
David.
You
I'm
got
just
nobody
Waiting
on?
for a hand to go up.
Yeah, nobody?
Just waiting.
Just hanging out. All right.
I don't know. Somebody in the back's going to the bathroom.
I think there's There's a
is he
bathroom right
okay?
outside the shop.
I don't know. Okay, we got to show.
Somebody shake him.
He's not dead.
He
All right,
could be.
Jason.
We might have lost
Anybody
him.
else?
Schwarzenegger did that once to somebody.
Where are you? Oh, okay. Hey.
Oh, all right.
Jason Domingo from Manuka Bible Church in Manuka, Illinois.
All right.
And excited you guys are coming to Chicago next year. It's going to be awesome. Again, I don't know what.
Tori's giggling
Matt
right
just
there.
sneezed and it was gross. Sorry.
Yeah,
about
that's right.
I turned my mic off.
Congrats on the 100th in a world where 78% of podcasts don't make it past episode 18. I think you guys are
I didn't know
remarkable.
that. I didn't know
Absolutely.
that.
So,
It
yeah.
feels like an
I
award.
didn't know that. You know what?
Yeah. And I have to say, I haven't watched since probably episode like 32. I think I was traumatized when Matt, I think, took off his shirt or something on one of the episodes, and I couldn't watch anymore.
I
But
was traumatized.
it's refreshing to be here live. So,
Well, glad you're here.
Welcome
thanks.
back.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely.
The question that I had, I'm in my late 20s, been in youth ministry now for like 5 or 6 years. What were some of the things that you guys were doing, maybe at my stage of life or somewhere in that 5 to 10 year range, that helped you to know that you would make it for the long haul? So that's my question.
Well, we've kind of decided that since you stopped listening at 32, we stopped listening a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not sure. Was he still
I
talking?
got some emails here.
no, just
Yeah.
kidding. Just kidding. I think. What?
I don't
Jana,
know.
how
Something
about you? Why don't
long
you answer?
haul.
I always get the serious questions.
You always get the serious
Make it
one?
funny.
Always.
Make it funny.
I started off with
How
the
do you make it
fear
long
one.
haul? Have fun every day. Laugh. That's
I
not
do
serious.
think doing ministry with friends has helped make
Yeah.
it for the long haul. I think for me,
So you are calling us your friends?
sometimes.
Other friends.
Oh,
And,
other
and I have
friends,
other friends,
okay.
yeah. I think for me, there are moments of reevaluating and making sure I'm committed to this. And for me, my season of life has changed drastically since, first starting and being single in ministry, getting married, becoming a mother. And so continuously I have to go, God, are you still calling me to this? Have I been released from this? Am I still doing this? But I think even something that I do with my interns is I even say right now, and when you sense God calling you to this, write it down so that you can go back and you can look at it and you can read that again and you can reread your journal and you can sense what God has been teaching you and why you were called to it in the first place, because I do think that it gets hard and it gets challenging in moments like that.
You want to add to that?
Yeah.
Is the live show just awesome right now? That's good, because I hear a bunch of giggles over there. Does the live show know they're being watched by a bunch of people, Andy? Yeah. That's great.
That's funny.
That's great.
It's awesome. I kind of wish I could see the live show.
That's, you know what I said to them today?
What?
I said, you got to keep Matt away. You can do the live show, you just have to keep Matt away from it. Because last year you were so distracted.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Good one.
You're so red right now. You're.
Both of you, though.
Yeah.
All right, do you
Well,
want to add to that?
I would say, yeah, doing ministry with friends is the ultimate. But at the same time, youth ministry is what?
Nothing.
You're giggling right
I'm
now.
not.
He's
I'm
still
not.
thinking good one.
No, I'm not.
Now he's trying to read the live podcast.
No, I'm not. I was just seeing if you showered today. Did you shower?
Yeah, I did all right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I got up late.
I know. Well, I was
Well,
with
if
you,
you knew,
right?
then why did you ask?
No, I knew you got up late. But when I was with you at 11 today, I said, are you going to shower? Because you looked like
Yeah.
you just got beaten. And you said, yeah, I'm going to shower, and I'm going to
Yeah.
even shave.
I was working really hard on stuff for the session. I didn't get to
Yeah.
that.
I
You
could
give
tell
him
Jake
a hard
did.
time for shaving?
What? No, let's
It's
answer the question.
long
we got
enough.
today.
It's long enough that it looks like I
You
intentionally
look like
didn't
George
shave.
Clooney or something.
Thank you.
It looks nice.
I would just say youth ministry has its ups and downs, and so the long haul is understanding that if you're in a dark time, that it does get better, and if you're in a happy time, that it does get worse. And so youth ministry for the long haul says, I'm in it for the ups and the downs, and just know that everything comes in seasons. And I think in our ministry experiences, we've seen a lot of ups, and we definitely have had a lot, but have weathered some incredible downs as well. So.
Yeah.
I think you have to know what recharges you, because if you spend all your time charging forward and doing ministry where you're giving to other people and you're prepping this and you're operating where you love, but you're giving so much, I think you need to figure out, and you probably do, I mean, I'm not saying you don't know this, but if you know what it is that recharges you and is fun for you and mindless for you, and so that you could just disconnect and unplug, that you got to do those things. I think you got to do it a little bit every day. I mean, I think you got to do it a little bit every day. You know, no matter how driven, you know, everyone's got different personalities, and even if you're like driven to climb to the top of the hill at all costs, at some point you're going to have to learn to, you know, what is it that makes me feel better? What is it that refreshes me? What is it that, you know, maybe it's just a tad bit selfish, you know, if you did it all the time, it would be too much. But if you did it some of the time, you know, it gives you enough strength to keep going. So I think that's important.
I'm still in my mid-20s, so I'm just getting started, so I can't answer. This is from Andy Disher. Andy says, Andy's here?
Andy's here.
Where's Andy? Andy, all the guys that are here are against the back wall. Blessings. Do you remember what you said? Well,
Rob Cunningham School of
I have
Thought there.
I have the bad habit of sending in emails and them not getting read, so I don't know which email.
Yeah.
Try, just keep trying.
Are we
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
top 100 things? Is that
Yeah, top 100. It says, I'll.
This is where Matt ripped on me.
Yeah, it says,
Whoa.
Doug, thank you for the emails and phone calls that you made to help make my yearly goal come true. Don't really get that. Matt, while I find it hard to read you sometimes, I still laugh when Doug gently places his hand on your shoulder. Josh, your dedication and commitment to Star Wars is, well, interesting, but very honorable. Thank you for emailing and texting back. You'll never know how meaningful those were.
You're welcome,
Blow 'em a
Andy.
kiss,
May
blow
the
'em a
force
kiss.
be with you.
Jana, your patience and angelic attitude comes through the podcast. Look at Neely's laughing. Her best friend's
I was trying to-
laughing.
I was
when
trying to
said
suck up, I'm
angelic.
sorry. Good that it comes
I
through
have
the
gotten my
Patience?
female youth workers to start listening to the podcast. You give amazing female perspective on many situations.
So does
Is
Matt,
Jan a
though.
patient?
This is from Patrick McDonald. He's from Royal Oak,
Patrick's
Michigan.
not here.
Every time I write in, I have an urge to either write the word a lot so that Doug will correct my spelling on the podcast. Have you ever noticed that
2
Doug
words.
uses his pen to mark things that are done wrong anytime he's reading an email? Or to sound very spiritual so that Matt will make fun of me? You two are very predictable. That's what they've learned.
Do you remember a long time ago that the podcasts were still new and everyone would
Yeah,
spell
we
it
didn't know if it was a
podcast
one-word or two-word.
podcast?
Yeah. And I didn't know that 78% never get past 18.
Wait, did he make that up though?
I don't
Hey,
know.
did you make that up, guy we weren't listening to? Oh,
I trust it then.
I do too.
Yeah.
Everything on the internet's it's totally true.
Everything on
I think he threw
Wikipedia.
that out.
Tom Gibson, North Point Baptist Church from Warren, Michigan, says what he's learned: be direct, specific, and quick to confront issues with divisive volunteers and students. Confrontation is a messy reality in ministry. We've talked about that a lot over the 100 shows.
Yeah.
He says, I addressed a student, he goes on to tell the story, I addressed a student the next day and it went down just like Doug said it would. I got diarrhea, freaked out, and didn't sleep, and the kid hated me for a while.
That's a good day in youth
Which
ministry.
one of those is bad?
He said, he said another thing he's learned is senior pastor has a harder job than you do, so cut him some slack.
That's good.
Third thing he said, I must strive to be compassionate but shrewd enough. I must strive to be compassionate but shrewd enough to reposition leaders when they're not a fit. He says,
Brazel, you don't even know what classic is. No. Brazel.
He says, I even love and really care about all of you, even Matt, who is the cold water that I often need. Jana, you are a great voice of reason to the show. Your perspective on interning alone is worth its weight in gold.
Reason,
Wow.
patience. This is awesome.
Angelic, don't forget.
Angelic.
Okay, I'm saying you got 2 more. Andy Disher. Did we already do Andy Disher?
Yeah.
Is Andy Disher
Yeah,
here?
he's right there. Guy against the
That's
back
why
wall.
he's-
Skip
Another
him.
one.
Skip him. No.
Another one. Things I learned: not to take youth ministry too serious. That even perfect strangers can be called friends. That's us.
Aw.
Perfect strangers.
Very nice. Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm going to end with this one, then we'll take the question. Is that why you're waving? Oh, you want a T-shirt? Okay.
Oh, you'll get a morethandodgeball.com
question.
shirt. You sure will, my
Cha-ching.
friend. Look at that arm, guys.
All right. This is from Matt Cross. I saved kind of like the gentle, nicest one for last.
Oh,
All
here
right,
we go.
Chris, do we have enough tape for this?
3
minutes.
Here we go.
All right.
You got this.
Wow.
I have learned.
Be strong.
No, I'm just kidding.
Be strong.
I have simply said I've learned and been reminded of just how much I love being in student ministry. I got into this journey around episode 4 and stayed along for the ride. Christ used you guys and gals and all those who have written in to help me remember that I'm part of something fun, exciting, adventurous, painful, and rewarding. So thank you, Doug. Thank you for caring about people you've never met and sharing all you have, your family, your wisdom, your creativity, your friends, and even your time. You really are an amazing servant. Josh, Jana, Andy, Nadeem, Natalie, Jake, and everyone who's had a part in this, thank you for being everything God has made you to be and sharing that with us. And Mr. McGill, may the good Lord continue to give you opportunities to work your flawless magic. You've allowed us to sit at the table 100 times to learn, laugh, relax, pray, and even cry. I'll be watching the next 100 feeling like I am at the table just talking with friends and seeing more of who Jesus is in a real way. I love you guys. Matt Cross, Abington, Virginia.
Can I have that one?
Nicely done.
That's
very
That
nice.
was nice.
I'd like to lay on that and pray over it.
You just helped him. Did you know?
I really don't. I was just a bit. Right? I don't really want it.
You know? What?
It's a nice
So
email.
Josh just sent him some helpful stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
I did,
email.
yeah. He emailed in. We did a little bit. What?
All right.
It's only a large, you know.
Chris, Andy, anything else? We have any last question? We have last question. Are we running now? Because we can.
There's a guy right behind. Cassie, can you throw it? Thank
Chris,
Yes.
take a break.
Oh, pizza break.
Okay, we'll answer his question while you break.
What if they want to take?
Okay, great.
Do a
All right.
transition.
Why don't you close this out, John?
We have really enjoyed the first 100 episodes. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks to the live audience. Thank you all. I'm with my friend Doug, Jana, Matt. My name is Josh. We'll see you on show 200. God bless.